Hello everybody and welcome back to Discussion the Show, reality TV talk. We are here, as you guys can read by the title, with episode 7 of the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip. And yeah, I'm excited to talk about this final episode. Yeah, so this is the final day of them on the island on the Turks and Caicos, and we're gonna discuss their final day. And if you guys want to hear what I have to say, definitely stay tuned. And you already know, let's get into the video.
To be or not to be, not.
Alright, so episode 7. Wait, before we get into episode 7, go and check out my other reviews. I did episode 1, and then I did episode 2 and 3, and then I did episode 4 and 5 together, and then I did episode 6. And now we're here for episode 7, but go check out those previous videos. I'll link it in the cards throughout this whole video. And of course, on the end screens at the end of the video, but definitely go check it out. And also check out my And Just Like That episode 1 and 2 review. I posted that last week, so definitely go check that out as well. But yeah, let's get into episode 7. We start off the episode with... I screamed because it was hilarious. Ramona teaching Melissa how to play tennis. We know a couple episodes ago, Ramona wanted the tennis court for herself and Melissa wanted to play tennis, but Ramona told her, you got the extra, you're gonna get the end of the 20 minutes of our hour. So this time we see Melissa actually on the tennis court and Ramona teaching her how to play tennis, which was so funny because Ramona is not a pro. Like, she's having fun and she likes playing tennis and she just wants to like work out a little, but she's not a pro. So to see her teaching Melissa how to play, it was so funny to me. But it was cute. It was a cute like bonding moment for her and Melissa to be bonding, especially they had that little mishap where Ramona wanted to have the tennis court for herself. So then we jump to the scene. Kyle gets back from her nightcap with Mauricio. You know, she's doing the walk of shame and she's making fun of it. Melissa's making fun of it like, oh, look at you doing the walk of shame. Kyle's like, I haven't done this in years. She's like, yeah, I'm walking in. And she's like, it's so funny. I had to ask my husband for a t-shirt to sleep in because I didn't have anything to sleep in. And she came in a robe. Like, she came strolling in on the tennis court in a robe and telling them about her night. So then we jump to the scene where Cynthia is putting together another event for the ladies. She's doing the Bailey Bowl. And if you guys remember, she did this a couple seasons ago on Real Housewives of Atlanta, where all the women came together and she had other people playing like different games. So that's what she did today. Well, day 7 for the ladies. She had them playing different games. So basically, it was different rounds. And by the time we got to the end of the game, whoever had the most points was getting a 4-night stay at a villa, a private villa in the Turks and Caicos. They were gonna go back. So that was the prize, which was really nice. She said her and Michael put it together and planned it out for them to be, her to be able to, well, bravo, to be able to give away that prize to whoever woman won the Bailey Bowl. So I wrote down the games that they played. So the first game they played was Diamond in Ice, which basically there was a diamond ring inside of an ice ball and they had to suck it and lick it to get to the ring. And it was funny because Kyle is hilarious, okay? And I've been knew that before. I see people saying, oh my God, I know how funny Kyle was. She's been funny. Like, she's been hilarious to me. But she was like, oh, the women in Beverly Hills are used to sucking balls to get the ring. I was like, ah! Hilarious. Kyle's funny. But yeah, that was round 1. Who won that? Well, I still think Teresa and Melissa cheated because I feel like they bit the ball. But I'm going to give it to Kenya. I do feel like Kenya actually really sucked it. So for that one, she picked 3 winners. It was Teresa, Melissa, and Kenya. And then they went on to the next round. And then the next round was the twerk off. That was hilarious because watching Ramona twerk, y'all, it was so funny seeing Ramona twerk. Oh my God. I was yelling, screaming at my screen. But then she ended up getting more... What was it? I think it was the amount of times that but she ended up doing better than Cynthia. And I was like, Cynthia, even though I know Cynthia can't twerk, but all that ass? I'm like, are you gonna Ramona beat you by 1 point? Come on. So then the next part of the game was Tug of War. And then we had Kenya and Melissa versus Luanne and Teresa. I knew Kenya and Melissa was gonna win, because Kenya is competitive and I know she's gonna try her hardest to win, and she did end up winning. Her and Luanne got into it a little bit because Luanne was like, oh, Teresa's leg didn't go over, and it did. We all saw it, but they was a low-key kind of about to start an argument just cause, and then cause Kenya was like, no, it did. I was like, okay, relax. Even Kyle was like, oh, Luanne is taking this game very serious. Like, I'm sure each of these women can afford to get their own vacation. Like, why they going so hard? But hey, it's a free trip, rich or not. Like, it's a free goddamn trip. Who wouldn't want to go on a free trip? So that was that. And then the last part of the game, since Kenya and Melissa won, now they had to play another round of Tug of War, and they went against each other. And of course, before they even started, I was like, Kenya's definitely gonna win this. Like, like I said, Kenya doesn't play and she's pretty strong, so of course she pulled Melissa, literally dragged Melissa over the line. So Kenya ended up winning, and then she gave this speech and they gave her a crown, you know, and she did something really sweet. I was like, wow, the Grinch's heart grew 3 times. Because she ended up giving the prize to Teresa. Since she's like, Teresa has somebody, a man in her life that she loves, and she inspires me, and I want to be where she is right now and find the love of my life. So I'm gonna give it to her because I don't really have anybody to bring with me, and she has Louis to bring with her. So that was very sweet for her to give it to Teresa. So then they're sitting at the table, the ladies leave, and then we leave at the table, Kyle, Teresa, and Ramona, and then they start speaking to each other, and Teresa opens up and says she's never had anybody stick up for her the way the ladies on this trip have. We see Kenya stick up for her and Cynthia stick up for her, and she says she's never had that in her life. And Kyle, you know, was sympathetic towards that. Was like, wow, I can't believe you've never felt like you had anybody to stick up for you. So they had like a little moment, and then Ramona opens up about her childhood and her past, because she was saying she only really has her daughter, and she has her sister, but her sister doesn't like to come to the city, and she doesn't like going home because her sister still lives in the house that they grew up in, and you know, she went through a lot of hardship and terror and witnessing and being involved in abuse, you know, so it's triggering for her to go back home and go to her childhood home, so she doesn't like going back there. But listening to Ramona, you know, that is why she is. Like, yes, I know she's a grown-ass woman, and at some point you can't let your childhood be why you're acting like this as an adult, but I can see why. Like, anytime she speaks about her childhood, like, I understand and see why she is why she is who she is, and you could feel and see the pain. Like, she's even stopped talking. She's like, I don't even want to say anymore because it's gonna hurt her so much. She's good at just like putting things behind her, ignoring shit and just letting it go. She doesn't speak about it. She just moves on, which is not good, because you're just carrying all this strife and all this negativity within you. And this is why she lashes out. And she's lashing out on the wrong people, but she still has all that negativity. Like, I really feel like Ramona needs to go to a therapist. Like, because the fact that she doesn't want to talk to anybody, she needs to speak to somebody to get all of that off of her chest. So then we jump to the scene where they are packing. You know, everybody's getting ready to go home. They're packing up. Cynthia is in the confessional, which throughout the episode, everybody was going in the confessional and basically speaking their mind, speaking their heart, talking about how they felt throughout this whole trip. And we see Cynthia in the confessional, and she's talking about how she felt throughout this trip, and how she, of course, we know she expected her and Kenya to be ride or die, and she didn't feel that way, and she wants to leave the island on good terms with Kenya. She don't want to feel any negativity. So she goes to Kenya to have a conversation, and Kenya, this part really made me kind of upset, because she shut Cynthia down, like, so bad. She shut her down. Like, she's like, nah, I don't want to have this conversation. And, like, Cynthia didn't even get to say really what she wanted to say. Like, she just shut it down. And then Cynthia was like, all right, and I'm gonna leave. Like, I was like, really, Kenya? You're not gonna listen to, this is your friend, and you're not gonna listen to what she has to say? Like, she's like, oh no, we had an amazing trip, and I don't want to end it on no bad terms. Like, you're ending it on bad terms. If you think it was such an amazing trip, like, why don't you want to hear out your friend and hear what she has to say, you know? So that part, I was a little annoyed with Kenya, because I was like, girl, listen to your friend. Listen to Cynthia. And you could tell, like I said in the previous video, if I didn't know Cynthia was leaving Real Houses of Atlanta, watching this show, I would be like, oh, Cynthia's not coming back. Because she was not herself this whole trip. Like, her energy and everything was just off. We jump to dinner on the beach. It is the final dinner of the trip. You know, we expecting everything to be well because it's the final dinner. Like, no drama. This is it. So, Ramona, early in the day, said that she wanted to pull Kenya aside because she didn't want it to be such bad terms between her and Kenya. So, she wants to end off the trip on good terms with Kenya. So, she ended up pulling Kenya aside, which this one made me annoyed even more because Kenya listened to Ramona and got pulled to the side, but she didn't want to listen to Cynthia, her friend. And I was like, you're gonna listen to Ramona but not have a conversation with your friend? Like, that, I was like, Kenya Moore, no ma'am. But Kenya and Ramona have this conversation, which they have a lot in common with, like, their families. Of course, we know Kenya's mom never acknowledged her and didn't want her and didn't raise her. She just gave her away to her grandmother. And we know Ramona, yes, she grew up with her father in the house, but her father was never there for her. They never had a relationship, emotionally, physically, nothing. It was just, he was just there. She witnessed abuse, as we know. So they do have, like, similarities of childhood trauma. So they kind of, like, bonded on that. But I can say, I guess they left on pretty good terms. They ended up hugging at the end of it. She listened to Ramona. Ramona listened to her. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. So then everybody comes back to the table and then they start talking about, like, their misconceptions of each housewife, how they felt about the housewife. You know, people start saying, of course, Ramona brings up again, I didn't think Teresa was smart. Now I think she's smart. And they brought up misconceptions about Kenya because they were all, most of them were worried about how Kenya was going to behave. And then they had, people said they didn't know Kyle was so funny, they didn't know Melissa was so much fun, you know. Just started talking about misconceptions of each other. It was probably their best dinner of the whole trip. There was no crazy drama. They just let that go and just had fun. So I would definitely say this is their best dinner. And I would say my favorite day was probably Melissa's, my favorite night would probably be Melissa's slumber party. Like, that was so much fun. Melissa's slumber party, and then this last night was definitely their best dinner of the whole entire trip. So yeah. Then Luanne, this whole episode, she has been planning a surprise for the women. She has her money guns, and then she goes to the back. She says, oh, I have to go fix my lashes. She changes to this nice gown with a slit. I was like, come on, slit, looking real sexy. And she comes out singing Money Can Buy You Class with the money gun shooting out. And Kyle's funny too because she, like I said, this whole season, she's been singing. She was singing the Gia song. She was singing Money Can Buy You Class this whole season. So she heard the beat and she's like, Money Can Buy You Class. I was like, God, relax. So Luanne comes out performing. She has the guys from, like, the resort next to her shooting out the money guns. There's fireworks going off. Everybody's having a good time, dancing, singing. While Ramona's on the little pole that's holding up the shack. Like, they're just having a good time. It was a nice way to end off the 7 days, the fireworks, like I said. It was just a nice moment to see them all enjoying themselves, getting along. You know, it's a trip. Let's end off on a good note with all that little drama that they had. We ended off on a good note. So that is the Ultimate Girls Trip, 7 episodes. Overall, I enjoyed it. Like I said, I'm a fan of Real Housewives. I've watched each franchise, each city. Like, I've watched all of them. So I enjoy Housewives. I love Housewives Nation. So I was super excited. I've been wanting an all-star season for so long. So the fact that we have it is so amazing. I'm excited for season 2. Guys, go check out my previous videos. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, you already know. Give it a thumbs up. Comment down below. Let me know what you think of the video. Let me know what you think of the episode. Let me know what you think of all 7 episodes. Comment that down below. Of course, subscribe to my channel to see more. Hello to my new subscribers. Thank you for joining the family. And of course, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace. Love.